Here I am. Here we are. Yes, another week.
Bring a non-African, you and the non-African will be escorted out.
All right, clap if you think she should suffer.
Automatically, I have an advantage over there because I'm awesome and, you know, I totally have it going on.
Hello hotties and welcome back to another video. If you've watched my channel before, then you know I've been a fan of Blackpink since their debut, and I'm not a K-pop stan, nor have I been active in any K-pop space for many years before this summer. Though I still kept up with Blackpink's group music, even now, I only keep up with 4 girl groups, and Blackpink's always been my favorite. They're the reason I even came to YouTube. So you can imagine how genuinely excited I was when their tour was announced at the prospect of all the OT4 content to come. However, as Blackpink's arguably the most famous or infamous K-pop group of the moment, depending on your feelings about them, their every move is placed under a microscope by millions of people, many of which only want to see them fail. As expected, these people have been especially vocal about the Born Pink album and world tour, but what does surprise me is that they're not completely wrong. Now hear me out, rabid blinks. This video will be divided into sections. First, a rundown of the promotions period for the Born Pink album. Second, a summary of the high and low points of their concerts so far. And finally, discussing the criticism the Pinks received and whether or not it's warranted and deserved. This video is not hate towards the girls, and I won't be repeating that disclaimer again. If you're going to interact with it, then be mature and respectful and recognize that people are allowed to share their opinions, especially if they disagree with your praise. Born Pink is their second full-length album since the album in 2020, making it a 2-year hiatus for the group. The first promotional act was the release of a teaser single, Pink Venom, on August 19th, which they performed at the 2022 MTV VMA, making them the first female K-pop group in history to do so. They also had one performance on SBS Inkigayo on August 28th, which was the only promotion they did in South Korea. From September 16th to 18, Spotify held an event called Born Pink, the pop-up experience in Los Angeles, to celebrate the new album's release. On September 16th, the group held a live stream broadcast on the group's YouTube channel 1 hour before the release of Born Pink and its lead single, Shut Down. That same day, they did interviews for 2 American radio stations, Sirius XM and Kiss. On September 19th, they performed Shut Down for the first time on Jimmy Kimmel Live. Their one and only promotional performance in Korea was also on Inkigayo on the 25th, a week after the Jimmy Kimmel performance. These were the only promotions YG scheduled for Blackpink's second studio album before their world tour started on October 15th with 2 concerts in Seoul. Obviously, this is really odd. A group as big as Blackpink, who've been in the industry for 6 years, don't need to promote as much as a rookie group or a lesser known one. But it's actually crazy that they didn't promote in Korea at all except for 2 Inkigayo performances. Twice, who had a comeback in August too, performed Talk That Talk roughly a dozen times on Korean music shows and went on MTV Asia Fresh Out Live. Of course, Twice is marketed more domestically and focuses more on the Asian continent, whereas Blackpink is heavily westernized, but it's still jarring to see such a difference. The fact that Blackpink's first performances of their lead singles were on American shows instead of Korean ones says a lot, and we know from the girls that they want to promote in Korea more and had to beg their management to go on a Korean variety show in 2020. So the only reason I can see for why the promotional period was so short and dry is because the album's release was postponed too much. YG announced the Born Pink tour on July 6, 2022, and Pink Venom was released a month and a half later. It makes no sense to me why their world tour was announced only 3.5 months before the first Seoul performances. That's a crazy short amount of time to prepare for a world tour, and it's only made shorter by the fact that it was also an album release period. While they didn't do a lot of promotions, that still eats up your time. We can be generous and say the tour's been planned since January 2022, but considering how bare their stadiums are and how each concert barely cracks the 2-hour mark, whereas most K-pop concerts are usually 3 hours, it doesn't make YG look any better. Everything for this album and world tour has been so rushed at the last minute, and it makes no sense why the promotional period and the announcement for the world tour were so late and rushed when they had 2 years to work on it. YG doesn't have a ton of active groups and Blackpink is their most lucrative and most famous one. What were they doing those 2 years? The only explanation seems like it's just YG's basic negligence and overestimating their own abilities, and it shows even more in the actual tour.
As of the time I'm scripting this video, Blackpink only has 2 concerts to finish off the North American leg of the tour, the LA concerts. Now there's no denying the 2 Seoul concerts were rough. Expectations were very high, more so from non-stans and especially haters than from Blinks and casual fans. After their 2-year hiatus, people were hoping for amazing quality stages, especially because in these 2 years, a lot of other groups went on world tours and really upped the quality of their performances. To continue with the Twice comparison, they had really detailed gorgeous graphics to match each of their songs. They decked out their stages with props from their music videos like the iconic pink car. They changed outfits multiple times. They had really strong live vocals. Seeing as how Blackpink are famous for having the most beautiful music videos, I don't care what y'all say, it's a fact. You would think they'd have aesthetic graphics, props, they'd be serving multiple looks. I mean, for God's sake, each of the Pinks is an ambassador for a high-end fashion brand. Bags and same quality as Chanel, right? See this necklace, see these dresses, we don't buy it, we request it, huh? The most surprising part of this whole tour debacle for me was how plain everything looked, how much they recycled clothes and how, I'm sorry to say it, bad these clothes are. Like, can we get some cohesion? Some spice, a theme, just one good fit per concert is not enough. There are so many props they could have had on stage, especially considering all the parallels between Shut Down and their music videos through the years. Rose's globe from Whistle and the swing from D4, Jennie's bathtub from Playing with Fire and her throne from D4, Jisoo's paparazzi and pink umbrella. Hell, they could have at least done something for Shut Down since it's their latest title track. There were so many options. When it comes to the criticism the Born Pink tours received for how lackluster and empty their stages are, I completely agree. If YG can do one thing, it's serve face and luxury. We got none of that so far. The lowest point of these concerts by far, though, has been the dancing. It would be impossible to track down every single video, tweet, TikTok, whatever that shows the members making mistakes in their choreography or half-assing it. Jennie and Jisoo are the 2 most present when it comes to dance criticism. When it comes to Jisoo, I'm not surprised she's made mistakes. After all, she's self-admittedly the weakest dancer, although she's capable of following their choreography despite being stiffer and slower. There's no doubt on who had the most mistakes, though, and that's Jennie. After her lazy scandal a couple years ago due to an ankle injury, people pay even more attention than before to her every move. So we can all agree Jennie makes the most technical mistakes in their concerts, from half-assing choreography to forgetting positions in a 4-person formation, which is just hilarious to me. She even got hate for tripping and falling backwards. Like, y'all will take any opportunity to put this woman down. It's honestly pathetic. When it comes to the group choreography, the Pinks have gotten a lot of criticism for their lack of synchronicity and energy, especially during dance breaks. The infamous Soul How You Like That dance break where every girl was doing something different. The Don't Know What to Do dance break where Jennie was just not present and laughing at herself for not knowing the dance, while the other girls who did remember it got eaten up by the backup dancers. The hilarious Camp Rock dance break, y'all dragged it for filth online and I can't even defend them because what the hell is this?
Yeah, that's right. We're here on your stage.
When I think of their 16 shots performance, it makes me gag. These girls can do so much better, they have done so much better. Who the fuck choreographed this dookie? Fire them. We're almost done with the low points before we start talking about all the good things that have happened. Let's keep it pushing. Alright, the stage presence. Every single member, even Lisa, has gotten criticism for their charisma on stage. Jisoo's received the least amount, at least from what I've seen, and I'm pretty sure that's because people aren't expecting much from her to begin with. Lisa's gotten around the same if not less than Jisoo, with some people saying her stage presence is overrated and she's actually pretty average. It's just that the other members are so bad they make her look better. Next up is Rosé, who's gotten a lot of comments about her looking bored, disinterested, and stone-faced throughout all the performances. Finally, everyone and their mother has spoken about Jennie's inconsistency. In some videos, she's absolutely killing it and leaving everyone speechless. In other videos, she looks like she just got fished out of a river in Minnesota, and people criticize her for it with a passion. Now on to the good things. I think we can all agree the solo performances have gotten the most positive feedback from fans and observers online. If I had to rank them, I'd say Rose is in last place and actually got more criticism than love for her performances of On the Ground and Hard to Love than I expected from watching her fan cams. Still, she did get a lot of praise from Blinks about her vocals and her now iconic oversized fur coats. In third place is Lisa, whose pole dancing got equal parts love and criticism. On one hand, some stans loved the creativity of it and the fact that we've never seen her pole dance before. On the other, a lot of professional pole dancers commented on her lack of technique, bad posture, and bad form. She's also received equal parts praise for her stage presence and criticism for the fact that she didn't even bother lip-syncing her performances. That mic was in her hand for decoration. In second place is Jennie, who came out with an unreleased English song that's giving Black Swan nymph ballerina. Like Lisa, she got a lot of love for the performance aspect, the novelty of the choreography, and how intimate it was. Also like Lisa, she got criticism for not singing live or lip-syncing most of the song. In first place, Jisoo shocked entire nations with her cover of Carmela Cabbage's Liar. She ate every bit of it and the public agreed. She got a lot of praise on her vocal, stage presence and dance. For what it's worth, most people who actually attended the concerts in person had good things to say. The mistakes and bad moments that went viral don't seem to matter as much to the actual attendees, many of who went online to say they either didn't notice them or didn't care because the overall concert was great. If you look beyond these clips, you can see the reason why the girls are getting a lot of compliments. There are a lot of moments where Jennie and Lisa especially ate the stage up. Jennie especially went viral a lot for her stage presence during Pink Venom and Shut Down, more specifically for her rap verses. Finally, videos of the girls interacting with the fans and with each other outside of choreography get a lot of praise, and it's pretty obvious why. While there's a lot of criticism of their technical performances, you can't look me in the eye and tell me they aren't having fun with the fans and singing with handheld microphones without doing choreography.
Now finally, to answer the big question, do the Pinks deserve the ridiculously large amount of criticism? Is the criticism Blackpink have received as individuals and as a group warranted? Short answer: no the fuck it isn't. There's a lot of Blinks who use this defense a lot online. They'll say you're only taking 5 seconds clips from an entire 3-hour concert and judging them on those 5 seconds. Obviously, that's been met with a lot of resistance from people criticizing the girls. In my humble opinion, there's actually a lot of fact in that statement. I totally understand why fans had such high expectations for this tour considering how long we've waited for Born Pink, for a shred of OT4 content. I completely get why you all would be upset seeing mistakes in the first few concerts of the tour, seeing bored expressions and half-assed choreography, seeing lip-syncing and bad vocal moments. What I don't understand, though, is why so much of the criticism is coming from people who are not fans, who will not and have never planned on going to a concert, and who generally only ever speak on Blackpink with hatred and criticism. Obviously, the bigger a public figure gets the more they open themselves up to hate and ill-intentioned analysis, but I've really never seen an obsession with a group you all don't like in this way. Hundreds of thousands of people laughing and enjoying shit talking the Pinks for a few moments of inadequacy is so fucking weird to me. Everyone likes to gossip and be cunty from time to time, I get it, but y'all take it to a whole other level of derangedness and I find it very concerning. The person you all been foaming at the mouth over is clearly Jennie. To me, Jennie's dancing is directly related to her stage presence. I've noticed over the years that Jennie's both the best and most inconsistent performer in Blackpink, and in the matter of one concert, she's able to give an amazing performance of one song and a mediocre one for another song. Obviously, anyone performing for 2 hours would get tired, but we do have to be objective here and recognize it's their job. They've trained most of their life to be stable and have stamina, and they do get breaks. So while I can understand Jennie being tired, it's also undeniable the other members pull her weight when she's slacking off. Do I think that her entire career as an idol and a performer should be limited to moments where she's not giving her 100%? No. Do I think it's okay to talk about her being terrible for an entire concert? Sure. But that has never happened. There has never even been an entire Blackpink performance of a song, much less a whole concert, where Jennie's been flat out terrible for the whole thing. She has her moments where she occasionally half-asses choreo or looks bored, but it's never ever an entire song. Y'all are so happy to label her a lazy performer, to say she's lost motivation to be an idol, to say she doesn't care about concerts and is just there for a bag, but absolutely none of the evidence supports such a hateful statement. Especially now after the first tele-concert, I simply refuse to see or hear any negativity about Blackpink as performers. They fucking tore that stage up. They have been tearing stages up in the US, and Jennie's been consistently proving why she's an incredible performer in these last few concerts. I think there's something very odd and hateful about people who make multiple 15-minute videos calling the Born Pink tour a giant mess and a waste of money. Then when you watch these videos, it's just a handful of mistakes that truly mean nothing to the audience. They don't care if Jennie bumps into Jisoo once, if Jisoo forgets to turn around in the dance break. These minor mistakes do count from a technical point of view if they were performing at an awards show or music bank, but this is their concert. They are performing for an audience made up only of their fans, people who've paid to have a good time and see idols giving fun, energetic stages. And that's what they've received. I see people say if a rookie group made mistakes like this, people would be mad online. And I just don't fucking understand the reasoning. Where is that rookie group? How is that rookie group doing a world tour? Where are the angry comments online, other than the ones you're making? What's the point of making up a hypothetical group who made a few hypothetical mistakes during a hypothetical concert just to justify your own rabid anger towards Blackpink? Make it make sense. The argument ain't argumenting. Another dumb take I see a lot is Blackpink is disrespecting their cameramen who are trying to showcase them in the best light by not dancing well for that 1-2% of the time. Huh? What? Who? You think the cameramen give half a fuck if one of the Pinks makes a minor mistake in the choreography then goes back immediately to doing it well? That's the dumbest shit I done ever heard. The cameramen don't care. The security guards don't care. The sound technicians don't care. The backup dancers don't care. The fucking audience doesn't care. The only people angry and making a humongous deal out of it is you all, people who aren't fans of Blackpink and will never go to a Blackpink concert. Let me reiterate again that I think there's nothing wrong with acknowledging Blackpink has made some technical mistakes during this tour, that some of their dance breaks are not very impressive, and that it's taken a while for all the girls to be on the same level as performers. It's totally fine to say that. What's not fucking normal, sane people behavior is acting like these technical mistakes and initial bumps mean that these 4 girls are terrible performers, that they're completely uninterested in their job and their fans, and to ignore all the amazing moments that have happened on this tour, which has been the majority of the tour. Y'all are deliberately exaggerating these errors and making it look like the entire concert is full of mistakes, when the truth of the matter is that 95% of each concert is good from a technical point of view. Y'all just want to hate, that's all there is to it. You're not in good faith providing constructive criticism, you're just being hateful and loud for views and clicks, and making up bullshit excuses to justify your behavior when the overwhelming majority of people who attend the Pink's concerts and watch them online enjoy the performances. It's giving Secret Stan, and it's a real window into how ugly y'all are on the inside. So, that's it Lamau. I've talked for long enough and I'm tired. I've been scripting and editing for over a week and this is all I had to say. I hope you enjoyed this deep dive. Like and subscribe if you want. If you're already a subscriber, let me know if you like these types of analyses/video essays and if you'd like to see more of them because I got a lot of ideas. Other than that, I hope you have a good week and I'll see you hot girls next time.